Hello. Hopefully the voice, you can hear me a little bit better. I had issues the last two videos because I don't know why, right? It could have been a number of things, but I had Nabil borrow my mics and he might have turned it up one more notch. And then I tried connecting them and I might have turned it up one more notch. But regardless, doesn't really matter. What ended up happening was the volume level on these mics were just way too loud. So everything was just super muffled and stuff. It just sounded like crap. And it kind of sucks too, because I was like, okay, I just finished this entire video and the audio is eh. I was still gonna upload it, regardless, but it just makes it worse. I mean, especially with something this is kind of new to me to use, there's going to be mistakes. So sorry about that, but it's fine. We learn from them. Today, we're deadlifting, but it's not like a usual deadlift day, typically, because this entire week has been super, super chill. I'm only pulling 700 pounds, It's a pretty chill day. It's a chill week because it's a deload week. And I don't know exactly what we're doing, to be honest. If I had to guess, right? My assumption is we're doing a deload week and then we're gonna have like a nice heavy training session next week. That's my assumption. But I could be wrong, because I don't know exactly how my coach wants to play this block going into the meet. But that's what I would assume we're doing. If not, that just means we're maybe going to do like a little heavy session and then the biggest session towards the meet, which I'm fine with either or. It just, we'll see by Sunday or whatever, whenever he updates it, because he updates it bi-weekly pretty much. But yeah, it's been a long day. We brought Hope, the dog that we adopted, to the vet, and that took like an extra hour and a half. It was at 3. So we're training at around 7 because I had to get one more meal in. Weirdly enough, I typed in the apartment and my phone was glitching out, right? And we were driving for probably like almost 15, 20 minutes and Nabil's like, dude, I do not think we're going the right way. And then I finally checked it. And it turns out I typed in the wrong address. So I wasted about another 45 minutes to an hour, it seemed like, of our time, because we went to Subway after the vet thing just because we wanted to get food. So I'm gonna be honest, it wasn't like the most productive day today. It was wake up, get our food in, bring the dog to the vet. I uploaded this last week's video, but yeah. My sleep schedule's been weird lately. And it's not even been inconsistent on my part. It's just that dog has been having some issues. So it's been making it where I've been waking up different time schedules at like just earlier sometimes than I'm typically used to. Like at 4, I was up at 4. Okay, and I used to be up at 4, but when I'm not acclimated to that time zone of waking up at 4, kind of sucks. And then I'm one of those persons though. I'm that person. I'm one of those people. I'm that guy. I'm him who, if I wake up, right, I'm usually up. And I'm a light sleeper for the most part. So any rattling, any sound, any of that, there was goats outside the house for some reason. And I had to go out in the rain and just let the dog go to the bathroom. I literally, it was one of those things too where the dog wasn't wanting to go to the bathroom because it was just downpouring, right? So I just pissed outside with it because it was like just to show her, hey, we're peeing right now, and then she eventually peed. Because I didn't want to have it where, it's raining, she doesn't do her thing, and then I wake up to a big mess. Because that's not cool. I'm not quite sure, body weight wise, how much I'm weighing. I weighed in around 240 last night. So if I had to guess, I'm probably around 237, 238. And it's actually kind of more, I feel like it's more difficult for me to wanting to eat more food when I have a deload week. And I think it might be one of those things where I just feel less motivated because I'm like, oh, it's going to just be super easy, you know? And then on top of it, your body kind of already feels like crap. Like I had it on Monday where benching, my elbows just hurt, you know? Squats, it was fine, but like elbows, you know, shoulders, you know? And it's nice that I have this week of rest, you know, the volume's kind of getting tapered down, the intensity, all that shit. So having it where, well, I need to eat more, you know, because then I get more recovered. So I got to be more on my crap. And just, it might be more difficult though, because I might be getting less steps in, you know, and more steps helps with digestion and all that stuff. That's why strong men do all those walks after they eat, which I highly recommend. I haven't been doing them the last few days, but when I'm on my crap, usually I'll be walking every time I get a meal in. And then by the time I'm done walking, I'm ready to either cook or eat another meal. Or it gets to a point where if I'm walking, I'll walk when I'm full, right? And then after I'm done walking, I may not be full. And usually you don't want to eat any food when you're full, but when you're not full, you don't remember that you can eat more, you know? It's like the only time you remember when you can eat more is when you're hungry. So I keep saying, just tell yourself either one, you're still hungry, right? I'm hungry. Just tell yourself, I'm hungry. I feel like that helps eat more food. And then two, reminding yourself, I'm not full, because then it just kind of checks. It just gives you like a double check almost. Because then I'll be laying in bed after I'm like done eating some food, right? Maybe chill on some Instagram, maybe chill on YouTube or something, right? And then, you know, time flies by like that. And then I see, oh, hey, you know what? I forget that I'm not hungry or I'm not full, you know? It's just normal. Well, that means I can go in the kitchen and get food and eat more food. So maybe you guys can try that out. But I'm not sure if I'm going to even try to finish this energy drink because, well, it's 200 caffeine, right? And typically during these deload weeks, I don't have any caffeine, but because it's kind of a longer day and it's a 700 deadlift, which is a little higher than I'm used to when we bring it down, I don't know how we're going to be feeling. You know, it's later at night. So having 200 caffeine, I don't think is going to be bad, but we'll see how it feels. But I'm glad I mesocycle and change how much caffeine I have, you know. So usually, and I wish more people did it like that, because then you get all the benefits and then no cons pretty much. You get the hits every time. You know, you might not have it where a couple of workouts you don't feel the pre-workout, but you don't need to feel the pre-workout every training session. You know, it's a wear and tear on your adrenal glands. And at the same time, if you're constantly being stimmed up, that's going to take away from your eating because appetite suppression from the caffeine and all the other stuff. And then two, it's also going to be taking away from your sleep. So those are the two key ingredients to recovering. So when that happens, right, I'll notice this, especially like after a max out session or a hardcore training session, that one, I will be getting less sleep. And that isn't ideal when you're trying to recover. So if I can lower my caffeine take or just my stimulant intake, to be more exact, you know, even my alpha GPC and all that stuff, if I can limit it to a degree where I get the most out of my workouts, but not so much that it's going to affect my recovery, that means, okay, maybe I'm training a little bit earlier, right? So the pre-workout has enough time to wear off through the day, being in a higher body weight obviously helps with that too, because then you feel like, hey, I don't need to get a bunch of calories in. I feel like in high school when I was wrestling, right, and I was only 195 pounds, maybe like 200, I felt like I always had to train later at night because I just needed more food in my stomach to properly brace, which makes sense. But now I'm at a higher standard, it seems like. So yeah, just pay attention to that. If you guys feel like, hey, I'm not recovering as much, well, pay attention. Are you guys, is the sleep and food getting fucked up from your stimulants? Because you can only do that for so long, and then shit just kind of doesn't work, you know? And food is that thing where, you know, a lot of people can struggle with it, right? I actually think there's more people with eating disorders in the fitness industry than people want to talk about. But at the same time, it's like, I have, like, if people who stay shredded year round, right? I kind of think like they got an eating disorder. And the only reason why they look good, right? Because it's a you look good eating disorder almost, right? And I'm not saying it like, oh, this is bad. I don't care, right? But when I see people that have been the same body weight for the last 3-4 years, and also body composition hasn't really even changed that much. Oh, cool, you kind of have a good physique, but at the same time, you're trying to improve, right? So if you see somebody, right, it just kind of, anybody can do whatever you want, right? But in my mind, I think that's stupid. You just wasted however many years to look the exact same. When, if you wanted to be a little more dedicated, you could have changed things, you know, and actually improved, which I think that's what most of us want to do, is we want to improve. I think that's a big reason why, hey, I don't want to go on a cut right now, you know, an intentional, like, cut, because I don't want to lose the strength, you know, and I can cut down and I'm not at too much of a high body fat where it's going to affect me, you know. So, and there's those things that you have to weigh to the risk to reward ratio. But the biggest thing for me is I want to maximize my genetic potential to the strongest of my capabilities, and strength is a undoubtable factor for that, right? Where if you become the strongest version of yourself and at the same time become one of the, you know, you've put on around a good amount of muscle mass and you look good, I think you've won in every single category. It's all about winning against yourself, right? You don't even want to like think about, oh, hey, I got to be stronger than this person or look better than this person, right? Because that's the way I see it, right? Where as long as I can come in stronger than, you know, than my own self, we're good. But being able to just squeeze every last drop of my my genetic potential of being the best genetic person, you know, to my genetic capabilities. And you're not going to get your best genetic capabilities, you know, staying 190 pounds lean year round and then stuck at a 315 bench. You're not. Sometimes you got to look a little fluffier and uglier to become even more handsome, it seems like, and more muscle, and more strong, and more manly. All right. Let's go, Nabil. What is this? 320? Oh, yep. That was good. That was good. That was good. I'd say, boom. Recover up. When's the next bench session?
On Friday.
What's that?
Well, I'm supposed to push it to this week. I should do, because I did 147.5 last Friday. So I should do one. I should max out this week.
When?
152.5.
Today?
But it was supposed to be Friday, but 3 was a fuck. That's three.
We'll just do it Friday then. Do it Friday.
I think I have it today though.
What are you supposed to do today? If you were going to?
Like a single at 8.5, but like the thing, it's moving good. Like 145. Boom.
No, but wait. Well, that's 320.
Yeah, that's 320.
What are you supposed to do? 336?
This week I should, like, I wanted 334.
Okay, load it. Yeah.
I think I have it.
Up. Ooh.
Woo! Come on, man. I thought I was losing it.
You almost did.
I punched it. Like, I went like this, bro. And then I punched it straight up.
Yeah.
That was crazy, bro. That was like back, straight. That was not a forward motion. That was a back, forward.
Yeah, that was a misgroove. That was a misgroove.
Big time.
I think you went a little too fast down and it kind of fucked it up. I gotta double check to see, is it 700 or 705? I can't remember. Even though it's like only a 5 pound difference. With the kilos, it's like, okay, do I just keep doing red, to 705, or definitely throw a blue and a black or whatever. I don't think I've pulled in joggers probably in like 4 or 5 years. That feels correct. I'm glad my thumbs don't feel bad right now. We'll see once we get up to heavier weights, but sometimes they can get sensitive after a big pull. I didn't even put that much chalk on the hands, but our grip's feeling really good already. That was good. That was good. The 485 moved exactly how I wanted it to. So we're going up to the 595. And then we'll do 700, I believe. I'm gonna throw the belt on now so I get my proper bracing with the belt so I don't miss a protocol or something or a cue when I'm pulling. But all in all, this is almost like the best I've felt technically, almost. Like on a technical standpoint, the positioning, pulling, the wedging, all that, really freaking good. And this platform right here is the best right now so far, out of all the ones I've tested. So I'm glad, well, I'm hoping this stays the same, or stays the same feeling pretty much throughout the singles, because if I pull my single here, the heavy single, which I'm guessing if we do next week, well then I'll be happy. But I think this is the spot. I really hope it's the spot because it's going to save me a lot of aches and pains trying to figure it out. Where's my juice? There it is. So 585 loaded, or 595. Throw on a belt. Did this for our one. And yeah, this week is gonna feel so nice, I think. Especially on our Mondays, which is already like a secondary squat day. That's gonna prep us even more for that Wednesday. And I'm already happy that I've been kind of pushing out videos. I almost didn't even want to film today, but I'm already getting in such a good groove of it. I would hate to go, nah, not today, and then get out of my groove. You know, so if I'm already semi in my groove of filming, might as well do it. You know, especially even if the views aren't as high, because this is a secondary day. We're not even secondary, this is deload week. It's whatever. Gotta prep the mind to get used to it. I've been having just calming music this entire workout. That was good. That was good. Really good. So, this is kind of a little tip for you guys. For those who are on a program, especially, I can honestly, most of my advice that I do give, I feel like it's things that I've had to correct with my own self, right? And this is one thing I've had to correct over the years is when it is coming down to deload week, right? One, don't worry about taking the pre-workout. Yes, I took the 200, but one, right? And then secondly is like, don't worry about either getting mad or just ripping the thing or trying to get as fast as possible. Like I know a lot of people like try to just rip it as fast as possible, right? With their bench or squat deadlift, right? And especially in a deload week, you kind of almost want to make it where it just feels correct, you know? When you just rip shit, that's where things can get out of place, you know, you get a tweak here or there, something doesn't feel correct. Versus if you're actually just feeling out the weight, and then you already have that almost like thing in your subconscious of like, oh wow, the weight already felt really good. Like the tightness, the positioning, the control, all that. That just gives you like one step further mentally, I feel like, to when it's time for that max out or that heavy single, you know, that you know you have it. So today's actually being like a really good day, even though we're not doing anything crazy. The position and the feeling is what's needed to be there. And if this is how I feel on the platform or on the next week or whatever, I feel sorry for the other people, you know, the other person that has to go against me, because I feel really good. And this is only, you know, our third day on the deload. We still have another 4 days. So we're doing good. Time to load up 700 pounds, make it fly, feel good, and then do some reps. This is mine. That was good. We moved it. That's all we wanted. And now we're gonna strip it to a rep out of 573 for a couple reps. And then, oh my goodness. Maybe strip it down a little bit more. But ultimately, things are moving good. Body's feeling good. I just had to tell the coach, you know, I'm feeling it more so on the how it's moved, like how it's feeling more so than how it's moving. Because I honestly probably could have ripped it for like a 5-seconder when this was actually probably like a 6-seconder. And I know that probably doesn't sound like a lot, but in the grand scheme of things, it's kind of like running. You know, it can be. But yeah. We're gonna make those reps feel good. Lower it a little bit down. Still got a little bit of bench press, some other stuff, but I'm happy with this. I'm happy with this session. I do believe also that working on the position, the tightness, all that stuff, also shoes tied, which is a little bit different. When we do go heavy and rip it completely, because our tech is gonna be on prime, it's just gonna motivate me even more, because it's gonna be like, oh, this, like almost like a psychological game of like, oh, this is moving faster than last week. Well, yeah, no duh, because you made it feel slower almost. It's intentionally, but like non-intentionally not knowing that, because you'll be so hyped up off pre-workout and whatnot. That feels great. That was good. Glutes are firing. Might take almost a deload from music. I can feel my hips out. We're gonna move over to some bench pressing. So, right now, how to give it a scale on a 1 to 10 on how the back's feeling. I'd say it's, 1 being good, 10 being bad. It's probably like a 3. So I think after a few more days, we'll get that tension out from all that low bar squatting and volume training to a nice, well-rested back. And then going into the meet, hopefully, especially with all the food we're eating, we feel really well recovered. Shirt off, get a better arch. By the way, tanks are actually from Gymshark if you want to use code Sawyer. I'll do a innocent plug right there, because why not? Also, everything else is pretty much Gymshark. So, code Sawyer always. I do appreciate it. You guys use my code. Allows me to do some stuff. I got big plans to do after the meet. Maybe a little max out pound plate session with Davey. I'm gonna probably actually also cut my accessories a little less, or a little more. I don't know how to pronounce it right, how to say it, but I'm gonna have less accessories today. Or maybe just bring the intensity down, because the weighted dips really tears the hell out of my shoulders, and my triceps and my chest is sore. Bro's lurking. So, I think what I found that's best for me right now is I do the swooping method almost for medium grip, but I use the backing up method for my wide grip. I think that might be better. I'm gonna keep playing around with it, but it actually felt better like backing up and then bringing into the arch versus swooping in. I'll give it another try as we're warming it. I just want to make sure all these cues are in my system, in my brain, so we have the best outcome when it comes to performing the 1 rep maxes. I think a lot of people don't pay attention to the repetitions that they do, and if they have, good repetitions for certain things, like good cues and all that, they'll perform good. But if they don't, they perform like shit, and they don't know why they perform like shit. So sometimes you guys take a step back from your training and think, okay, what is something that I could change that could actually maybe benefit? The cons to pro to con ratio of like me swooping in, is like sometimes I could maybe set up off-centered, and if that's the case, well then, maybe the risk to reward ratio of how many times can I get it not centered to off-centered is good. It's there or it's not there. So, I think I'm going to actually stay here. My pec, my left pec, for example, is a little, it's a little sore, and I want to play it smart. I would hate to have a tweak. I would hate to have some kind of issue pull up. So we'll do 330 for our top set, and then I think I'll do around 308, 315 for some reps. Very, very nice and easy. And just focus on like keeping my scaps tight. And yeah, I'm happy with that, especially for a deload, how everything feels. I'm happy how mentally like happy I am with this deload. With like, okay, I'll take it. Okay, I'll take it. You know, sometimes I can get a little aggressive with it and be a little irritated with how sometimes things move. But being that we're in a surplus, body weight's good. I'm just gonna let my body rest and do its thing, and then we have a good session the following week or whatever. So no pushing it. I've had such a good success on my bench press already that I'm okay taking it a couple steps back before we take a big jump forward. That was a good call. That was a good call. I'm happy. I didn't go up. They're both good. It's gonna have to depend on how I feel, I think. Got a couple sets of this. And then I'm gonna do some light accessories. I'm not gonna go too heavy on them, so I wanna get some active blood flow in them. And then we'll see how we're looking. Dude, my chest must be pumped today, I think. I hope. All right, 5. Yeah. 8, 9, 10. Come on. Come on. Oh, you see that? Wow. Dude, the cut will be insane if I ever do commit to it. Oh, what's nice is as soon as I get a tan, I look good. I have like 10 pounds of muscle. So it came to my attention I didn't have this connected, so I want to say this again. Thank you for everybody who's supporting me.